everyone, and welcome back to my channel. This video is very exciting because I am trying out 3 different styles of shoes from one of my favorite shoe and accessory brands called Aeyde. And I'll show you how it's spelled because it sounds a little different than it's spelled. So yeah, this is the brand Aeyde, but you say AD like Architectural Digest. And I have just purchased these shoes. I'm not working with them, even though I would love to work with them, but they are a brand out of Berlin that now they're kind of expanding a little bit, I think, into like jewelry and belts and things, but I really, really, really love their shoes. I have a huge variety of their shoes. In fact, I did a whole video about my whole AD collection. I have sandals, boots, ballet flats. In fact, it all really started with the ballet flat for me. I just think they're very stylish, very modern, but minimal, and they go with everything. They are very high quality shoes. They definitely are a higher price point, but they're not in that like designer category where it's like $1,000 for a pair of shoes. It's more in the $300 to $400 price point, and they always use real leather, which I really love because I can take them to the cobbler and have them resoled or have any little scuffs kind of buffed out of them and stuff. And that is something that I also do on a regular basis to maintain the integrity of my shoes because I live in New York City and I walk around all the time everywhere, so comfort is key, but I also am very hard on my shoes, I'm not gonna lie. So I think I like to think that I know what I'm talking about in terms of trying out shoes that are stylish but also comfortable and practical to wear. So it's been a little while since I've purchased anything from Aeyde, so I saw a few of their like newer styles and I thought they were really cool, a little bit like, I don't want to say trendy because yes, they go with some of the trends that we're seeing right now, but I still think they're unique enough in their own way where it's not like someone will look at that and be like, ugh, I can't believe you were wearing that shoe. Like that was so, 2025. I don't know. Maybe I'll be wrong, but I think these are all really, really cool shoes and they're very different. Each of them are a totally different look and feel. So I'm going to walk through each shoe, what made me interested in it. I'm also going to show it with 3 different outfits because for me, when it comes to shoes, I feel like it's very important to not just try them on with something where like, they're going to look great. So for example, wearing, a dress with heels, like obviously heels are going to look great with a dress or with shorts or something. So I really wanted to pair these heels with a variety of items, especially things that might be a little trickier to style. So for example, I styled them with my a Goldie balloon jeans, which can sometimes be challenging with shoes, as well as my tailored black shorts, and then also my boiled wool midi dress, because the midi dress it cuts off at the leg at a certain point, so it's really important to me that I can wear flats, heels, like all different kinds of shoes with it. So I tried to find 3 extremely different items to style all of these with, and so I will be showing you all of that. But yeah, let's jump right into the ones that I picked out. So let's start with this pair of heels. So I picked up 2 pairs of heels and 1 pair of flats. And this pair of heels was actually the first shoe from Aeyde that I was drawn to. I absolutely loved it. I think I saw it in the gray first, and I loved the cut of it. I have a very similar cut shoe from Flattered, these heels that I wear all the time that I love. I'm pretty sure it was very inspired by the cut of Phoebe Philo's Old Celine. She used to have a lot of shoes like that, and I'm sure she was inspired by other things prior to that too. But I just think it's a really cool kind of modern fun take, and I love like covering the toe cleavage. I also think practically it just makes for a more comfortable shoe because more of the foot is covered and contained. The only thing that made me a little nervous about this shoe was this little kitten heel here, which funnily enough, actually they provided you with a second little heel, which I guess you can take to the cobbler and get it traded out if you ever damage this heel, which to be honest, I might have to do considering walking around New York City. I might very easily slide into the crack of a sidewalk or something with a tiny little kitten heel like this. But I do love a really tiny heel just for, again, practicality purposes. So I have this pair of shoes from Aeyde. These are the Judy suede shoes, and I'm obsessed with them. I've worn them so much, and I have them in both black and like a dark chocolate brown, and they're some of my favorites. I love the heel because it's nice and chunky and very easy to walk in. I also add these little non-slip things if I haven't gotten, I usually, again, get all of my shoes resold at some point with sort of non-slip, but I usually, if I'm just ordering a bunch of these, I put one of these on the bottom right out of the box. They're super handy. You can get them right off Amazon. I will leave them in the description box below. But they just help you to not slide around because these shoes are definitely very slippery right out of the box, I will say. Anyway, so I do prefer a much chunkier heel, and this one is skinnier, and you can definitely feel that when you are walking in the shoe. So that's the only negative thing I really have to say about this shoe. Aesthetically, I think it's so attractive. It's almost like a boot, to be honest, in just how much of the foot that it covers. And yeah, I just think it's super comfortable. And I actually ended up getting this in a size 40.5 just because that was the last size they had on Essence for me. They didn't have a size 40, which is what I normally go for in Aeyde shoes. But I'm actually really happy that I got the 40.5 because I think for a shoe that has such a pointed toe like this, that the 40.5 is actually perfect for me. In fact, spoiler alert, in these shoes, I actually think I might try to get the 40.5 just because, again, it's not as pointy of a toe, but like a pointy toe heel like that, it's just nice to have a little bit more room so your foot isn't like shoved into it. But in general, I'm just loving a pointed toe shoe. I think it really elongates the foot and elongates the leg. Even if you're not getting that much elongation because the heel is a little bit shorter, it kind of just like tricks the eye into thinking that you're wearing a full heel, which I really love because they're easier to walk in. So that's a fun little trick. But yeah, I really love this shoe. This is called sorry if I haven't already mentioned it, but this is the Black Clara heel. And again, I think it comes in multiple colors. The other kind of strange thing that's going on right now with Aeyde is their pricing. So I picked these up from Essence, which is one of my favorite places to buy Aeyde because you don't have to deal with like customs or shipping or anything. If you buy directly from Aeyde, which I have in the past, if you want to make a return, it's like $30 and you have to do it through DHL. So if you don't know your exact size or you're a little unsure, I would recommend ordering through like a Net-a-Porter or an Essence, just because, yeah, easier return process, free shipping, like that kind of stuff. So that would be my recommendation in terms of purchasing Aeyde, but I will say there is more stock on the Aeyde site. So if you see these shoes on Net-a-Porter or on Essence and they're sold out in your size, definitely try for Aeyde on their website. But I got these shoes for $315, but when I looked again to provide you all with the links, I noticed they were back to the $400 range. And I kind of think that Aeyde might be trying to, I don't know if I just got like a temporary sale or something with Essence, or Aeyde is actually playing around with their price point. I think that might be the case. I think that I know they tried to raise their prices a fair amount, and really went from their shoes being like $300 to like $400 or $500, which is quite a price increase. And I think we're all a little bit tired of price increases at this point in time. So, and in general. But yeah, I do want to call that out, that they might be more expensive than I'm saying in this video, because I'm noticing the price like fluctuating a little bit. But I got them for $315, which for, again, a high quality, comfortable, 100% leather shoe, I think that's actually quite good. And again, I love all of my pairs of Aeyde shoes. There's not a single pair that I bought that I don't love and wear a ton. So yeah, I absolutely love these shoes. I think they will look so good, again, with all the things that I like wearing a beautiful pointy toe with. I think a great oversized trouser, like my COS wool trousers, will look so good. But of course, it'll look great with like jeans and shorts and dresses as well. I think this looked so good with my little midi dress, just because it does look a little bit like a boot. I think it's also a nice kind of transitional piece where you're still getting coverage. You don't want to maybe have an open toe yet because it's not quite spring. We're like, I guess technically it is, but it's still a little cold outside. So you get that coverage, but still have a little more of an openness than you would with like a bootie. So I'm really, really loving this particular shoe. So that is shoe number uno. The second pair of shoes is the actual most expensive out of all of these, and this is the Nova Nappa leather heel. And I was very drawn to these, frankly, because of their just funky, funky little shape. Their funky little heel. And I love that this is a chunky heel. I think this is going to be much easier to walk in than the little kitten heel, as like cute and dainty as a little kitten heel is. For city walking, walking around New York, walking around European cities, having a nice chunky heel like this is great. And I love, though, that this has kind of a sexy shape to it. I also love, again, that it's got that really high cut front, very Celine inspired, Phoebe Philo inspired, and again, very comfortable. The only thing I do think, I got these in a size 40. I think I might try to get them in a size 40 and a half, just because my other shoes are so incredibly comfortable. And because they hug more of the foot, I think that even if the leather stretches out a little, that because the foot is so secure in there, that I think they'll just be comfortable and they won't like fall off my foot or anything. So I do think I might get a 40 and a half in this. These shoes were the most expensive. These were $495. So that's why I'm more open to playing around with a different size, just because I am a little bit concerned that I think a 40 and a half would be more comfortable. But in general, these are very, very similar. I'm not gonna lie. But I do just love the funkiness of this. I think these are like a great basic shoe, but also a cool talking point as well, if that makes any sense. And this Nappa leather is absolutely beautiful. I think it looks so good with my new bag from the Row, just having these gorgeous kind of simple shiny leathers without any pebbleness or any kind of texture to them. I think they look really beautiful and really expensive. I've also paired all of these outfits with these sheer black tights that are my favorite from Amazon, because my legs are so pale right now. You guys do not need to see them. So that is why I'm wearing that. But I also love them because it gives a really streamlined look as well. And it also really helps with blisters. So while Aeyde shoes are really comfortable once you've broken them in, sometimes you definitely need to wear them around a lot. So I would highly recommend wearing, you know, those little either socks just to help with the rubbing, or like a blister cream or something, just the first couple times that you wear them, because they definitely do need a little bit of breaking in sometimes. That would be my other piece of advice. But yeah, I think these are very cute, very cool, modern heels that will be very, very comfortable to wear around the city. I think these, because they're a little more chunky and a little less delicate than these, I think these will look so cute more on their own with like skirts and shorts and things. I definitely could obviously wear them with jeans and trousers, but I do think they are heavier. So unless I was wearing like a heavier sweater or something on the top, that I would have to be a little bit careful about being too bottom heavy if I'm wearing like heavy trousers and heavy jeans with these heavy shoes as well. I also love that they're modern, but they're kind of like a little Victorian era-esque. I don't know if any of you guys are getting that too, but they're just kind of reminding me of like Victorian Gothic. And actually the next pair of shoes is like very Victorian Gothic in my opinion. So yeah, I think that's kind of funny, but I think they're quite cool. So the next pair of shoes that I picked up is, I guess, kind of a trend that's going on right now. And these are the Isla Nappa leather derby shoes. And if you're not familiar with the style of the derby shoe, this is the derby shoe. So, but I think this is actually like the most kind of feminine, beautiful version of a derby shoe that I have seen thus far. A lot of the derby shoes that I've seen have quite chunky soles and they're quite masculine, and I think these have a really beautiful, elegant profile to them. They are basically the exact same cut and shape as their ballet flats, which I believe the Imas or the Umas, I can't ever remember the name of them, but my favorite ballet flats from Aeyde, which I will leave linked below, they are the exact same like toe shape, that beautiful square toe that Aeyde has become super famous for. I have Mary Jane's in this shape, and I have multiple pairs of the ballet flats in the shape because they are my favorite shoes of all time. They are my go-to and I love them. So the idea of having this in like a derby lace-up that's like a full coverage like this, I thought would be such a fun alternative to like a tennis shoe. And frankly, I don't have anything like this in my wardrobe. And so I got this in a size 40. And because it's a flat, even though it's a little bit tight, I do think I'm going to stick with the 40 because I know how my other ballet flats have like stretched out and worn out over time. And since it's not a pointy toe, I do have space for my toe to like live and breathe, unlike the pointier ones. And so I actually do think a 40 is the good move for me in this one. In general, though, I do just appreciate that Aeyde has half sizes because that is quite rare, I think, for brands nowadays. But that little size like does make a difference because I have purchased the 41s before and they were way too big. So I do think that having that little bit of room really can make a difference. So I really appreciate that with them. But yeah, I just think this is such a fun, funky shoe. Again, kind of like Victorian schoolboy. I don't know like why I'm very drawn to that vibe right now, but I think these will look so cute with like little crop trousers and jeans and also with dresses. I think this would be a fun way to add just kind of some fun like masculine energy to a dress. So I actually think these are the shoes that I'm probably the most excited to style because I just don't have anything like them and I think they're really, really cool. They also come in other colors. They come in a beautiful cream color and I think another color like a pink or a brown maybe. So again, if you're not totally into the black, maybe it's too Victorian Gothic for you, you could go for a lighter color. I think the cream would be super, super cute for spring and summer. It's just totally unrealistic for me living in New York City. They would get smudged and scuffed and disgusting immediately, but I've really, really, really loved these shoes. And I got them for $425. So definitely, again, on the more higher end of shoe, but not quite in that designer shoe price point. So I did want to call them out because I do think this is a fun, fun style. And this is the most flattering version of this style of shoe that I've seen on the internet thus far. So I thought you all would really, really like them too. And again, I'm really looking forward to styling these throughout with some of my more like ladylike pieces. And yeah, I just think they're really, really fun. So lots of great pieces from Aeyde. Let me know in the comments below which ones are your favorite. I am definitely keeping these and I feel like I'm very torn between the heels. I feel like I don't need two pairs of new heels, but like they're different. They're very different. So I'm very torn on what to do. So please let me know in the comments below. You guys, your opinions are always like super helpful. And in general, it's just very helpful to go back and watch these videos and kind of like look at them and think about how they fit into my wardrobe. But I just love an Aeyde shoe and I just hope that they continue to make these really fun, modern styles that are trend-led, but still kind of doing their own unique thing, which is really hard to do in a market right now where I feel like everyone's just like copying everyone and it's hard to find kind of new and interesting things. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you're not familiar with this brand, enjoy it because they're truly one of my favorites and they're really great. So yeah, I hope you enjoy it and I will see you all in my next video.